Come with me for a day in the life of a medical assistant. I know it sounds crazy important, but we normally get stuck with a lot of the tasks that physicians don't have the time to do. A day in our life usually consists of office work, a lot of vitals, and opening and closing the office that we are working in. I know it's boring, but we still find ways to have a lot of fun. I start off by opening the office and setting up everything for today. Maybe I'll start some coffee or boot up all the computers, but our mornings are usually pretty slow. And once the physicians show up, it's time for our most favorite thing. Not really. Hand washing. Medical assistants wash their hands up to 100 times per shift. We do this to keep ourselves and our patients safe. But by the end of the shift, we are tired of it. There are specific guidelines that we have to follow in order to make sure our hands are properly cleaned. We always follow these steps every time we wash our hands. I know, tedious, right? Once our hands are fully washed and the physician shows up, we are ready to start our shift officially. During a shift, anything can happen, and most of the time, we are the ones to help. Today, during this shift, a person waiting in the lobby was eating something and they started choking. I was behind the desk and I jumped into action to help them. Obviously, I have to blur out the patient's face for privacy reasons, but I have some of the security footage that you're watching right now. After the patient was taken care of, I returned back to my desk and continued working. It was during this time of the day where I received a request to take a patient's temperature. I got a call from the physician asking me to help him, and so I agreed and told him I'd be there right away. Every time you enter a patient's room, you always make sure that they're ready for you to enter. During this time, I introduced myself to the patient by my name, and I made sure that the patient knew exactly what I needed to do. But obviously, I needed to wash my hands. While I was washing my hands, the patient had already removed their clothes, where I showed up, put on my gloves, and wiped away the auxiliary area with tissues. I then grabbed my digital thermometer and put on the disposable sheath. I turned it on and put it underneath the patient's armpit to wait for a reading. After a couple of seconds, I received the reading and I removed the thermometer and looked at it. That patient had a temperature of 100 degrees. I then removed the sheath and discarded it, and then I put the thermometer back inside of its case. I thanked the patient for letting me help him today. I then removed my gloves and went back to my office. I recorded the temperature, date, time, and the method I used. The method I used obviously was a digital thermometer. This is where a lot of the office work comes in, recording patient files. And then obviously I had to wash my hands. Nobody likes to do it because it's very tedious, but every MA, every doctor, and everyone has to wash their hands. I then made sure to report to the physician that the patient had a temperature of 100 degrees. Now it's time for me to put on a gown, but of course, I need to wash my hands. I know, it's pretty boring, but it's the sad reality of being an MA. Every time we wear a gown, we have to open it up fully and let it unfold. We then have to place our arms through each sleeve very carefully. And then of course, we need to fasten the neck opening. After we do that, we need to make sure we pull the gown completely and secure it at the waist. Once that is all done, we put on our gloves and we are ready to help whatever we need to help with.
1 hour later.
After helping the physician, I went back to my office and removed my gloves. I then discarded of these gloves. And then I unfastened the gown at the waist, went up to the neck, did the same there, and then carefully removed the gown without touching the outside. I then rolled the dirty side of the gown in. I then found the nearest garbage can, yep, that one right there, and then properly disposed of my gown. And then I had to go wash my hands. It is the bread and butter of medical assisting. After the rest of my shift, I stuck to insurance and checked the time and realized it was time to go home. It was a pretty long day, so I was really grateful to go home. When closing up, we typically have to shut down all of the computers, set the security code, turn off all the lights, and lock the door after we leave. It was a really long day and I'm super tired, but thank you guys for watching. I need to go to sleep. Visit me next time on A Day in the Life of a Medical Assistant.